Garrett, let's start with you. We've each got two guys that we'll be breaking down today, and I'm curious to hear your first selection.
Yeah, so I want to start on the line of scrimmage. I think that's where games are won typically. And we're heading to the defending national championship. Sorry, let me correct that. The back to back defending national champion, Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm going with Bear Alexander, the defensive tackle out there at Georgia. I want to read you a couple of his stats from the 2022 season. He did play in 12 of 15 games, but was very limited in his usage for, I think, some obvious reasons we'll talk about in a second. Had 9 total tackles, but 2 sacks with 13 quarterback hurries. And the big kind of highlight there that I wanted to highlight was he had a huge game in the national championship. He had 3 quarterback hurries, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack against TCU. That's a very good TCU offense that Georgia defense made look like it was not very good. And Bear Alexander was a big part of that. Just looking at some of the measurables, 6'5", 305. He actually dropped 40 pounds coming out of high school, going into it through the spring. So this is a very light and quick 305, or at least as light and quick as 305 can get. He was extremely highly touted coming out of high school. IMG Academy, then to Denton Ryan, won a state championship, Under Armour All-American selection with the final two of Georgia and A&M. That was that big A&M class with a lot of the defensive linemen, where he ultimately decided to go with Georgia. Clearly has been a good decision for him so far. And look, obviously Georgia has been ridiculous when it comes to defense the past couple years. And the fact that Bear was able to claim any playing time on last year's defensive line was a little bit crazy to me. That defensive line, including guys like Jalen Carter, Nazir Stackhouse, that have been incredible players for Georgia, and obviously moving along now. The fact that Bear was able to claim anything on that defensive line, I think, speaks to just the sheer talent coming out of high school. That a true freshman, 18-year-old kid is playing for a team that has serious championship ambitions in his first year. I thought spoke a lot to what he was not just able to do, but trusted with the coaching staff. But especially now that Jalen Carter's moving on, many expect Bear to kind of take that starting spot on the interior and can just kind of run with it, see what he can get out of this year. Look, Bear, he's got a knack for getting to the quarterback. He's got a better knack than most guys. He's really good at getting a lot of pass rush. Like I said, the 13 quarterback hurries and extremely limited action. A lot of D tackles don't even get there all year. And so the fact that he's able to kind of get there, get to the quarterback and affect the game. He's got great punchy hands, real nice feet. He kind of keeps his base real well. He's got really quick ability off the ball as well. Just about everything that you want out of a defensive tackle. And when you mix ability and opportunity together, this is where breakouts happen, right? Bear Alexander, he can do everything you want him to do. And he's not only on a sort of reloading, but a reloaded defense for the Dogs. He's in this group where they're going to go back and do it again. They're going for the three-peat, right? Trying to go out and continue to stay dominant on defense. He's, again, coached by Kirby Smart, one of the best defensive minds currently in the game. I think we'll be singing his praises all year about how he's just, terrorizing teams in the SEC East and causing problems and, breaking up passes and stuff like that. And so I'm excited to see where he can go this year in the SEC East come next fall.
They call him Bear for a reason, right? I mean, a huge human. To watch him lose 40 pounds getting to Athens over his first season was nothing short of remarkable. I got to cover him a little bit in high school, and yeah, as coveted a interior defensive line prospect in the state of Texas as we've had in quite some time. And his journey over to Athens, I think, was a great pickup for him. He's won a national championship already, and now he truly gets to kind of be the ascendant, the heir to the throne behind Jalen Carter, right? Where now all of a sudden Georgia, sure, they're producing good edge rushers, but they're so prolific at every single position. And I think we're starting to see Georgia might be another team like Alabama who's just going to start producing just huge guys in the trenches, right? They've already started on the offensive line. Now, if they're going to continue to supplement the NFL ranks with that interior presence as well, and versatile guys too, right? Bears got the ability
Yeah.
to rush the passer, also defend the run. That's just not a common trait for a lot of NFL three techs, nose tackles, right? You expect them to be the big beef in the middle that shuts down the run, the run lanes, that stops the A gap from opening up. We've seen Jalen Carter get to the passer and disrupt the pocket. I think Bear Alexander, is cut from a very similar cloth.
Yeah, gone are the days of the guy's name is escape. Who's the guy that played for the Patriots and the Texans forever?
Vince Wilfork.
Vince Wilfork,
Yeah.
man, like
Big boy.
gone are those days in college football and the NFL, because these guys have to be mobile. They have to be agile on that defensive line, and it creates really big mismatches in the trenches when you think about, I think that's one area where defenses are kind of ahead of offenses at that point, is where we have kind of these plug and play guys on the defensive line. You can slide Barry Alexander out to edge for a couple special packages if you wanted to. He's quick enough to get around a guard or a tackle, but if you put him straight up on the nose, he's going to dominate a center, most centers in college football. So love that. We're seeing that more and more across college football. Georgia has just been putting on a master class of that over the last couple of years. And yeah, Barry Alexander is next in line in that throne in the Georgia Bulldog uniform.
Yeah, and this is not a small person either. We're talking about him with a lot of, athleticism and ability, and he's quick and he gets the passer and stuff like that. It's easy to talk about that guy and then sort of shift your expectations that he's smaller, little undersized. But to remind, 6'5", 305. This is a big body in the middle, and absolutely will be able to plug up those rush lanes, do everything that you want. Just because he has that edge ability, we're not saying that he can't also do the run stuff too, right? He can also plug up the holes in the middle, stop the run game. He's going to be an absolute terror. I think that's the one word that I would use. He's going to be terrorizing the SEC East this next season, and probably, if things are going the way Georgia plans them to go, he'll terrorize whoever comes from the West in the SEC championship game, and he'll probably terrorize some people in the playoffs as well.
And he'll be yet another top 5 pick probably in 2025.
Sure. Yeah,
he's truly kind of the next guy that, Jalen Carter last year as a sophomore. I mean, folks were talking about him as a top 5 pick then, and he wasn't even draft eligible. It's probably unfair to put that mantle on Bear after just a freshman season, but the traits are there. The tools are there. The blueprint is there. The mold has been created, right? Now he's just got to fill those shoes. It's a lofty expectation. They're big shoes to fill, coming off of how dominating Carter has been these last couple of seasons. But we get to the end of the 2024 season. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Bear Alexander's a top 10, top 15 pick, right? Just from what we've seen guys like Jalen Carter go out and do. So great pick there. I think Bear's got a high ceiling for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch how he continues to grow and develop. His sophomore season upcoming, his junior season 2 years from now.
Gracious him! How